quick question before we start today's, because we're not talking about secants, chords, or tangents anymore. We're going in a different direction. So quick question here. That red thing up there, that red thing, that's graphed. What's that called?
A line.
It's a line, yep, good. Y equals mx plus b, right? Y equals mx plus b. And then last year, I think you guys were introduced to the purple blue graph, which is parabola, yes, right? Parabola, and that came in the form of this right. All right, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So you guys are pretty familiar with the line, pretty familiar with the parabola. Today, equation of a circle now. All right, so you know line and parabola come in these forms. What about a circle? So go ahead, take your graph, take your calculator, go to Grapher for me. I'm going to start class off with graphing a circle with you. Go to Grapher. If anything's in there, please clear it out. All right, if you have anything typed in there, please clear it out from previous periods. So I'm going to show you an example of a circle right now. So hit your parenthesis. Here we go, parenthesis. Let's throw x minus 3 in there. In the parenthesis, put x minus 3, close it, and then square that quantity for me. All right, so x minus 3 all squared, plus, do another parenthesis, and in this one, put a y for me. Put y, let's go plus 2 in there. Close it, square that quantity as well. Equal to, all right, get your equals button for me. Let's go 9. Okay, equals 9. And once you press enter, the calculator will tell you, hey, this is going to be a circle. Okay, this is going to be a circle. If you want to see what your graph looks like, go ahead. There you go. Huh? Everyone should have a circle on their screen right now, hopefully. If not, user error. So everyone's got the circle, looks beautiful. Good. Go back to the equation you typed in. This is what a circle equation is going to look like today. And refresh my memory, how many numbers did I have you type in? How many numbers did you, numbers, not variables, how many numbers did you type in for me? How many numbers are up there? 5. Well, not the squared, but the actual 3 numbers, right? 3, 2, and 9. They have significance as it relates to the circle. They are parts of a circle we're going to talk about. The 3, the 2, and the 9 you typed in. They're pretty important. All right, they are important. Okay, so let's go back to your notes now. Now that we know what a circle looks like, here's an example of a circle equation. So go back to your notes and take a look at the top left-hand box there that I provided for you. This is how every circle comes in. You had y equals mx plus b, you have ax squared plus bx plus c, but now we have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. I'd like you to have this down too. This right here is called center radius form of a circle. Center radius form. Why is it called center radius? Because it will provide you the center and the radius. Remember, you had 3 numbers you told me you plugged in? Here you go. You plugged a number in for h and you plugged a number in for k on your calculator, right? You put both of those together, they form a point. All right, so you take whatever number here, make it the x coordinate. You take whatever number is in for k and make it the y coordinate. Put them both together, and that'll give you the, look at what the form's called. What do you think that'll give you of the circle? It's a point. It's a point, xy point, so it's going to give you the center of the circle. So whatever numbers are there, we're going to put them together, and that's going to give me the center of the circle. X and y are going to be x and y. That's not going to change. They're going to stay x and y. And then also you had another number on the other side of the equal sign, if you remember on your calculator. And that's my r value, or r squared value. But r by itself, I think you guys, if you had to guess, could probably tell me. What do you think? That's the rate, not just, I don't want to just write the word radius. It's the radius length, the length of the radius in that circle. And I do have some good news after we do the first problem. I actually have some good news today. All right, let's try this out. All right, let's try this out. Writing on the equation of a circle in center radius form. All right, so part A. I gave you the center. And remember, the center comes in the form of h, comma, k. So h is 3, k is negative 3. And the radius length is 6. I want to write the equation of this circle. All right, so let's start with the first set of parentheses. Inside will be x minus the h value. What's our h value here? 3. So it's x minus the h value squared. Plus, okay, we got to do a little mathematics here. Y minus the k value. Now, what did we notice about the k value? It's negative 3. So what's going to end up happening here if I do y minus that k value? It's going to end up turning into what? Positive 3, right? Watch, ready? Y minus the negative 3 turns into plus 3 squared. All right, and then on the other side of the equal sign, be careful here. It's not equal 6. No, it's not equal 6. Look at the form. Look at the equation. It's r squared, and I don't want 6 squared either because you're in honors math. Put what 6 squared is. 36. I told you I had good news for you. We're done. This is the equation of a circle. I know some of you may be thinking ahead or advanced and be like, oh, I got to do x minus 3, double distribute. Nope. This is the equation of a circle right there. Center, radius. Okay? So that's how we're going to write the equation of every circle now. Questions on this before we get into more of them? Anything on the first one? All right, next up. Sometimes I won't just serve the center and radius to you. You may have to find it on your own. So look at part B. I tell you the radius, this is the center. The radius length is 2. What was the center then? Okay, what was the center? True, Matt, what was the center?
3, 3. Wait, what's the question?
What's the center of this circle?
1, 3.
1, 3. All right, here we go. Somebody tell me what should go in the first set of parentheses here with the x. H, comma, k. H, comma, k. What's going to go in the first set of parentheses with the x? Start us off right here. Start us off right, Doyle. X minus 1 all squared plus what's going to, well, relax. How about, stop trying to show off, all right? We know you got it. Jeez. All right, here we go. Ksenia, take over. What's in the second one with the y? Y all squared. Don't forget the squareds, everyone. Don't forget them. Equals what's on the other side here for r squared, your radius length squared. Oh, again, Ksenia, go. 4. Not 2 squared. Not 2, 4. How are we feeling? Equation of a circle. Don't forget the plus sign in between. Small details you could forget. All right, another one. How about this center? 0, negative 2, and that radius, radical 26. All right, what's going to go in the first set of parentheses with the x? What's that going to look like? Whew, don't get ahead of me here. Gabby, go ahead. What's in there?
X squared. Well, x minus 0.
Don't get ahead of me. Good. X minus 0 squared. I'll get back to that in a second. I'll get back to you, Gabby. Plus, what's going to go into the next parenthesis with the y's? Whew, back. Okay, Doyle, come on, show off.
Y plus 2.
There you go. Squared. All right, what goes here now? It's not square root of 26. It's the radius squared. So calculate it if you have to. If you don't know what's going on, what should go there when you're ready? What goes there, Josh?
26.
Yes. You square radical 26. The radical disappears and you get 26. Good. Now going back to Gabby's point, you're not going to see this on an answer key or in a textbook. Would I accept this for full credit? Absolutely. But you're not going to see this. I'm sorry, you're not. They're going to simplify this over here. Why, Gabby? X minus 0? Just x. So you're going to see this right here. Just x squared along with the rest of it. So if I see the variable all by itself, if it's x by itself, y by itself, that tells me that coordinate is 0. Okay? If I just see the x or the y by itself, that coordinate is 0. Questions, comments, any concerns? All right, again, I'm probably not going to be feeding you the center and the radius every problem. So what happens when I have one but not the other? I give you the center in this one, -3, -2. And you guys have what, 3, 1 on this, right? 1, 3. Thank you, 1, 3. So there's the center, goes through 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is when I become happy because you become sad. You can at least fill in half of it for me already. Fill in half of it. Let's fill in the left side with me here. Let's start us off here. Will, x, what? What's in the first parenthesis? X plus 3 all squared. Plus what's in the second set of parentheses with the y? Ho, going Charlie. Y plus 2 squared. The only thing I did not provide was the radius length. So you could square it and plug it in. Well, can I use this info that I gave you to find the radius length? Well, let's quickly find out. Here's what I gave you, right? Center. Here's a point on the circle right here. So if anybody wants to see what the circle looks like, here you go. Bam. That's what the circle looks like. I still need the radius so I could square it. There it is. There's the radius. There's the radius. How are we going to find the how long that radius is? How are we going to find how long it is? Come on, how are we going to find how long it is? Distance formula. Yeah, quadratic formula yesterday. And distance. Yep. Nope. And nope. Still waiting. Okay, never mind. All right, yep, distance formula. You got it. Got to use distance to find the radius so we can square it. Oh, why does he have us use it every time? Because it makes you miserable, which makes me happy. You don't have to use the distance. We've talked before. You can do Pythag if you want. Yeah, that's fine. Make a right triangle out of this and do Pythag. But Pythag is the distance formula. All right, subtract your x's in any order, subtract your y's in any order. I'll ask somebody in a second what the distance is. Some of you are happy deep down we get to use distance, I know. What is the length of the radius first? Not what I'm going to plug into the equation. When you have it, what is the length of your radius, our radius up here? Length of our radius. Listen to you when you have it. Yeah, it's the square root of 41. I don't want a decimal. What's going to go in the equation, though? I don't want radical 41 to sit in the equation. What's going to go into the equation for the radius? Josh?
41.
Radical 41 squared, which is, yes, indeed, 41. Good. Questions, comments, any concerns there? All right, that was fun. You do not need a compass for this. I'm just going to have you freehand it. Can we go backwards now? Will we have the ability, if I give you the equation, I am going to have you graph it, but to graph a circle, you need the center and the radius. All right, so here's the deal. You get me the center and radius from this equation, and I'll show you how to graph. All right, you get me center and radius. I'll show you how to graph. So let's start with what is the center? Looking at that equation, what's the center of this circle? Be careful. What's the center of this circle? Shoom, going deep. Zeev, what do you got for the center?
-2, 1.
Okay, hey, if you take -2 and plug it in, shouldn't that have been a plus, right?
1 -2, and 2 -1.
There you go. 2, -1, yes. And if you're thinking in your mind right now, I'll just do what's opposite in the parentheses. You're correct. Yeah, you just take the opposites out. And then what about my radius here? What's the radius length? Ooh, Matt, what's my radius length?
6.
Good job, Matt. Yes, because remember, that 36 is r squared, not r. So yes, it's going to be 6. All right, so let me hold up my end of the bargain. How do you graph a circle? You graph its center first. Graph its center. Then I need you to graph 4 points that are on the circle based on this information. Anybody? How can you get 4 points that are on the circle? Josh, explanation?
You count 6 points away in like straight line, or like parallel to one of the axes.
How about just up, down, left, and right?
That's what I'm trying. I heard it's like.
Oh, you failed, so good effort, good effort. Yes, up 6, right 6, down 6, left 6. That'll give you 4 points on the circle. And again, you guys can just freehand this. I will be walking around criticizing any awful circles.
You literally use the program to do it for you because you're too embarrassed to show us how bad you are at drawing circles. You can't like tease me like that.
That is not a circle.
Has squares.
It still looks like a square. Like,
Yeah, I'm not going to comment here, but a couple of you guys, quadrilateral unit was a couple months ago. All right, we did rhombuses way back. All right, rhombuses were way back in the day. All right, I know I can't say much there, but all right. So we good. Now we have a problem, right? As we go to this next one, now we have a problem. And right away, you see the problem. It's the equation. That's not center radius form. So you can't tell me what the center is, and you can't tell me what the radius. In fact, let me enlighten you here. The form I'm giving you now here, this is called standard form of a circle. Standard form. Anybody remember that back in your equation of lines days in the middle school? Standard form, when they threw the x's and the y's on the same side. So here's what I need to do with you. Convert standard form to center radius so I can do this. Because there's no way we're going to be able to find the radius and the center in standard form. We need to convert it into center radius. And how we're going to do that? This is what I asked you a couple days ago. We are going to use your Algebra 1 technique called completing the square. Yes, completing the square to convert it into center radius form. Okay, and I know some of you might have heard of it, didn't. We're going to do this very, very slow. First step to complete the square, make sure the number without a variable, aka called your constant, is off to the other side, which it is, -8 is. So make sure the constant, the one without a variable, is off to the other side. Next step, we need to rewrite this standard form so the x's are together and the y's are together. So x squared needs to be next to the other term with an x, which is -8x. Stop. Don't write anything else. Is everyone comfortable when I say this has an A value and a B value? Yes? Well, we're going to add a C value, which you guys are going to find for me in a second. And we're going to do the same thing for the y's. Group the y's together. Plus y squared plus 2y plus a new c value equal to -8. So there's our first step. Get the constant over, group the x's and the y's together, and be ready to find a new c value. All right, how do I find this new c value? And it could be, it probably will be different for both. Doesn't have to be, but it probably will be different for both. Anybody remember that procedure from last year? How to find that value? Period 3 new. Aiden?
Divide by 2 and square.
Yes, let's go. Yeah. What? Well, divide what though? You are dividing by 2, the b value. So each of these has a b value. So let's start here. -8. You don't need your calculator for this. Take -8. Cut it in half. Divide it by 2. Everyone got that number? Square it. That's your new c value. Your b value divided by 2 squared. What number am I going to write up there? 16. Yes. So 16. Now do it for the y's as well. Complete the square for the y's. B value of 2. Well, I know this one's a challenging one. Cut it in half and square it. Everyone okay on that one? What number do I get? 1. Yes, 1. Also, just a note, these c values always positive. Better be always positive, because anytime you square any type of number, positive or negative, you get a positive answer. So c value is always positive. All right, we have a slight issue. We have a slight issue before we move on. And this is the only time I'm going to embarrass myself like this all year, so soak it in. Before we had the 16 and the 1, we were like this. Before we had the 16 and the 1, we were just like this. And then you guys put in 16 and 1, and you know what happened? Little teapot style. What am I talking about here? Other than looking like a fool up here. We were like this before the 16 and the 1. You put the 16 and the 1 in, and then whoop, we went like this.
We need to add the same thing.
What happened? What am I right now? Unbalanced, right? Everyone see that? Unbalanced. Unbalanced. Yeah, you're unbalanced. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So we added 16 and 1 to the left. So we have to add 16 and 1 to the right. All right, I know this is not looking anything like center radius form yet, is it? All right, the magic's happening in the next step. What do I get over here? -8, 16 and 1.
9.
9. Oh, perfect little number. Perfect little number. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to take the x's, the 3 with the x's here, the 3 with the y's, and we are going to factor them individually. This is easy. Don't worry. I don't factor. Ready? X squared minus 8x plus 16. Two numbers that multiply to 16 but add to -8. -4 and -4 and -4. Wait, you're telling me it's this? That's what you're telling me? Yeah. Is there a fancier way maybe in mathematics I can write x minus 4 times itself? How can I rewrite that? X minus 4. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now, you see it now. You start seeing the circle radius start building. Let's do it again. That was fun. Two numbers that, oh my, all right. You can't screw this up. You can't. I'm sorry, you can't. Two numbers that multiply to 1. I'll just stop there. I don't care what comes out of my mouth next, but they have to add to 2. Two numbers that multiply to 1, and they have to add to 2. Please. y.
You should call someone.
I should actually, yeah, I should. I should. You better check with your group real quick. Zeev, y, and
Call someone else for the other one.
no, we're good. Y plus 1, good. So now I get y plus 1 all squared. Oh, now it's center radius. Now we're good. Okay, so we use completing the square to go from standard form to circle radius form. Still not off the hook yet. Can I get a center here? Can I get a center, please? Center. Aiden, center.
4, -1.
4, -1. Thank you. And can I get a radius length here now? A radius length, please. Gianna, radius length.
9 or 3.
Thank you. Way to catch yourself. 3. All right, go ahead and graph it. I'm getting better. Okay. Everyone all right? You know the deal in here. 1 doesn't make you great. Just because I give you 1 in standard form doesn't mean you know how to do all of them. So let's do this last one here together. Regroup them. Send the constant over. Regroup them with the new C value. And send the constant over. So on this side, you should have -40 now. -40. Go ahead, find your new C values. B value divided by 2 squared. What's your new C value on the X's up here? New C value on the X's, Amy?
$16.
16. New C value on the Y's? Haley?
49.
49. And I get it. This might be a common mistake. Got to remember, there's no way. Come on, think about it. There's no way you're going to have a -40 for R squared. Balance plus 16 plus 49. Balance it out. All right, time to factor. 2 numbers multiply to 16, add to 8. What would that one factor into? That one factors into, Gabby?
X plus 4 squared.
X plus 4 times itself. Yeah, good. So X plus 4 squared. And then over here, what's the deal? Y squared minus 14 plus 49. What's that factor into? Amy?
9 - 7 squared.
Good? Nope, does not. The answer was -7, not +7. So good try. Can I give you guys a little hint? Or not a hint, but a trick? Anybody, well, I'll give you this trick too, because I like most of you now at this point in the year, unless your name's Josh. But anybody see how your B value related to the number you got in the parenthesis? And this worked for the last problem too. I didn't bring it up until now, but you just divide by 2. And you get that number inside. Divide your B by 2, and that's the number inside, instead of trying to factor it. It's up to you, though. And then what do I get over here? 25. Yeah, 25. All right. Center. Center. Where are we going, Haley?
Negative 4, 7.
-4, 7. And how about the radius? 1 too late, huh, everybody? Came a little too early for you. Too early. Will? 5. All right. Yeah, we do go off the graph here. Suck it up. You'll be fine. I do have a question before you get going on the assignment, though. Get on my level. Human compass. Here's my question to you. I know what's going to happen tonight. That's why I'm asking. Let's say I change this problem and I get rid of this positive 8x now. And you still have to put it into center radius form. Do you need to do completing the square on the x? No. What did we talk about? If it's just x squared by itself, what's going to be the x coordinate of the center? 0, yeah. So tonight, I think that's going to happen to you. I only need to complete the square once for the y's. All right, because I already know my x coordinate is going to be 0. All right, so just watch out for that tonight. I don't want you to, how do I complete the square if there's nothing else with it? You don't have to, it's 0. All right, you're all good.